What are some of the mistakes we think people make around product in their 0 to 1 journey?
Thinking one product is easy. It's not. It's like some of the most famous and well established product school gurus have said that it's like being a mini CEO. And yes, it is like being a mini CEO.
Without the money.
Yeah, without the compensation, without it, sometimes the authority also. So I think going into product thinking, yeah, it's like consulting advisory or running a team. It's not, because product means you're actually owning like almost the money coming in. I would put it that way. Like, because it's owning what sells in the market. You're half of the time sales, but the other half you're stakeholder managing, because nobody's actually formally reporting into you, right? And that's where that partnership ability comes in. Like, the tech team doesn't report to you, right, formally. Like, they report to your CTO, but they're making a product for you all as a company, right? So that whole V culture has to come in. So managing stakeholder, not thinking of that is a mistake people make. Then not looping in designers early is a mistake people make. Thinking that everybody works for them is a mistake people make, because it gets to their head. And I think the biggest one of all is not listening to the customer or the market. Sometimes you get so framework data driven that you're missing the, like, there's the softer aspect of a feedback, and then there's the actual hardcore number aspect. So again, in like, I've done mostly B2B. So in B2B, you've made an analytics software to analyze, let's say, climate risk, and you're selling it. And in
Hmm.
customer success, one of the customers says, oh yeah, you know what, I love the output it gives, but it took a lot of time. So a 0 to 1, like a zero journey product person would be like, there you go, look, they like it. But a one person would be like, sorry, rewind, and did they say it's difficult to do it, even though I love the outcome? So I think those are the mistakes, like reading that hidden emotional aspect of a customer or user feedback.
Hmm. And you mentioned sales and stakeholder
Yeah, yeah,
management.
yeah.
So let's double click on that. On
Sale
both.
on both, sure. So you get into as a product head, or you start your own. You'd be like, my job is, the norm is, you'd be like, my job is to make this product, which I'll get a couple of engineers to make, and then throw it to a salesperson. No, bro. No, ma'am. No, it doesn't happen like that. You need to understand, a, what are you selling, which goes back to what was your problem statement, what value did you create. You almost need to curate a pitch for your salesperson. And initially, like, I would say, in the first 5 6 months, I would judge a good company or a startup based on how salesy their product head is. Because if the person who's responsible for making that product, I mean, of course, is involved, it's a V thing, but again, mini CEO, accountability, whose neck is on the line. If that person can't sell well enough, no matter whom you hire as a sales team for them, like, they won't be able to sell. So understanding what you're selling, how will you empower your sales team to sell, is super crucial. And to do that, I would say half of the times you need to think yourself as a salesperson. Like, yes, my team made this product, but now I have to sell it. And there's always a big difference between a
Hmm.
great tech product or a great hardware product versus
Right.
what sells. So bridging that gap is always super crucial on the sales side. So that's what I mean when I say, like, you need to be almost selling half of the time,
So
because that's what you
this,
do, right, in
right.
stakeholder management too, right? Like, how do you normally, like, either you're putting up a business case to your founders or you're putting up a business case to investors, you're selling, right? Or to your stakeholders, you're saying, we're going to make this product, it solves a fundamental problem, it's a prevalent problem, people need this, they won't be able to, let's say, do their job 8 out of 10 times without this. So you're selling, right? That same thing has to translate to your customer pitch, which is like, yes, you need this, this is the problem we are solving.